One thing I may want to do at one point is actually look up information about IP addresses and host names. So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about actually looking up DNS information. DNS is the domain name system, and you may be familiar with it when you go to a website. You're going to go to www.infiniteskills.com, for example. Now, that is a host name. Actually, let me bring it up in a web browser. If I go to the host name, www.infiniteskills.com, that's actually the host name, and it refers to a specific system or the IP address of a system that actually is the web server for the domain infiniteskills.com. Without getting into all of the details about how DNS works, which would be a whole different thing, we can talk about how you can actually look up information from the domain name system. If I wanted to know, for example, what the IP address was for www.infiniteskills.com, I could do something like this. I could use the host command. Host is going to do a DNS query, and it's going to tell me that the website, www.infiniteskills.com, or that host name, is an alias for infiniteskills.com. And furthermore, that host name, so even though it's a domain, it's also a host name as well. That particular host name has an IP address of 204.12.117.93. That's one way of looking up an IP address. I can also do an NS lookup, and I can do the same thing here, and I should get roughly the same responses. Sure enough, I get 204.12.117.93. In this case, it's telling me what the DNS server it used to look up that information was, and all I really get back here is I've got www.infiniteskills.com. It says the canonical name, which is really the alias. Canonical name is a DNS term, and it's sometimes called CNAME, which is short for canonical name. The name of the host that actually owns the IP address is infiniteskills.com. And once again, we get the IP address down here. Now, that's another way of looking it up. I can also use the utility dig. And dig is going to show me all of the root servers in that case, but if I want to do dig infinite skills, it's going to give me a lot of details about the query. So it's telling me the query that it actually used. You can see the question here is infiniteskills.com, because that's actually what I looked up. So let me change that here. Now it should give me the question section is www.infiniteskills.com. We are looking for an address record or an A record. And the answer that got back is that www.infiniteskills.com is a canonical name for infiniteskills.com. And then it further looked up infiniteskills.com for us, and it found it has the IP address of 204.12.117.93. I've got 3 different ways of looking up IP addresses. Of course, I can also do the reverse way. If I look up, I'm just going to copy that. So let me dig that. And I get back that it actually doesn't have a reverse address. In some cases, I'll get a reverse address, meaning the IP address will actually resolve to a particular host name, and they don't always match. And certainly in this case, they don't match. There's not actually a reverse address. I could try it again just to see if that was a bit of an anomaly, and sure enough, I get not found from host. So that IP address doesn't actually have a reverse entry. That's perfectly okay. It's preferred that there's a reverse entry, but it's not required. Nothing's going to break if that's the case. But we've got 3 different utilities to do DNS lookups. I've got dig, I've got host, and I've got NS lookup. All 3 of those great little utilities. Depending on what it is you're looking for, you may choose one over the other, but all great utilities for grubbing around in DNS and learning a little bit more about IP addresses and host names and the different types of DNS records that are available.